Yeah. Would be good to find those other crystals for sure. Let's see if we mark the optional part. Is that gonna direct us toward a specific component? Yeah, that's more next door. That. There's one of them. And is this the other one? It is. Okay. Got that. Mutagens lying around makes some sense.
Organs. Hope their donors weren't forced to give them up.
Yikes. Okay. Other things of note here. Oh. Oh. Where does this lead? Is that our way out? That might be a way out for when we're done here. Thinking we probably don't go through that yet. And then the centipedes are... well... somewhere? Not entirely sure where, but let's go check out the other megascope stuff.
Crystals. Should mount them in the megascope. Missing 2 crystals.
Have them.
Just need to pick an entry.
So the second one, again, sorry, this is going to be kind of a strange smattering with the order of all these stories.
Observation 22. Despite applying a surfeit of toxic substances, significantly more than usual, the subject displayed no symptoms of overdosing. I believe this to be an effect of the mutations. Thus, a minor success. This mutation should allow Jerome better to tolerate toxicity.
Okay. So, but you're still like further mutating him to allow him to take on additional toxicities. That sounds pretty clearly like you're making him more of a Witcher rather than less of a Witcher. Yet you're calling that a success when that's counter to your objective. Sounds good for us, but not for what you're trying to do.
Observation 58. Sometimes failure is the catalyst for success. I've discovered a method by which one type of mutagen may be transmuted into another through the addition of certain ingredients. This is a great day for science. In addition, I observed that today's dose of mutagens brought the subject to the brink of death. He then suddenly awoke, revived, his strength renewed. Not wholly, of course, but he did in a sense come back from the edge of death. Whether this is attributable to his mutations or to pure coincidence cannot be ascertained. I must conduct further experiments.
Yeah. That seems like, you know, maybe not the most, morally correct thing to do, but okay.
Enough.
See, it would have been great if we had the option to take that leave option earlier. So now that we've found all the crystals and checked that stuff out, though, do we now go through the portal? Or do we... Because the weird thing is, we have this circle over here. It looks close, but yet...
Moreau must have kept his son in here. Grim.
Yikes. But yet there isn't an obvious way to go in... Oh, no, there was, right? Yeah, there's this. Okay. Now let's try this out first. And this is, we think the place where we're gonna find some giant centipedes, which we did get in our bestiary. I assume they're beasts? No, they're insectoids, right? They gotta be insectoids. Let's see. What can we learn about them? Among the fascinating flora and fauna of the Duchy of Toussaint, one also encounters creatures of the decidedly unpleasant sort, such as giant centipedes. Not only do these beasts look hideous to the eye, they can do colossal damage to flesh as well. I decidedly advise against them. A visit to Toussaint, one of the many guides authored by Peter Saffels, Yeah, if you are looking for a nice vacation to Tucson, definitely do not pay a visit to the giant centipedes. Giant centipedes are enormous insect-like monsters which can be found in many places in the world, but are particularly common in the lands, or more precisely, under the lands, of Tucson. They often dwell in close comity with Shalimars, as we were reading previously, for a sort of monstrous symbiosis has developed between them. Giant centipedes feed on the small creatures which eat Shalimar dung. Hard chitinous armor covers nearly the entire body of a giant centipede. Sticking out from under this carapace are rows of hooked limbs. Giant centipedes are able to burrow into the ground with shocking speed, only then to appear back on the surface in another place. And it is similar to what we experienced way back in Witcher 1. Once they select a target, they will circle it determinedly, trying to get close enough to deliver a blow. They attack primarily with their powerful mandibles. They also possess glands allowing them to spew acid. Uh-oh. Is acid technically a poison? In which case we can use Golden Oriole. That might be the potion there that's recommended. Greatest obstacle when fighting giant centipedes is their thick armor. Yeah, it sounded like it's gonna be hard to break through that, which deflects most blows, but not only from weapons, also from magical means, such as those dealt by simple spells or witcher signs. Uh-oh, how the heck do we hurt it then? When attacked with a weapon, they will often parry the strike, then quickly reply with their own forceful counter. Man! Thus, the best method for fighting them is to catch them in a Jurden trap, keeping them from protecting themselves with their armor or burrowing into the ground. Okay. Definitely going to be using that. That's an insectoid oil. That's not the Golden Oriole. So I don't know if their acid attack technically counts as a poison or not. I think there was, what, a griffin? A griffin back, the one that we were doing with the Hans of Sidaris, where I was wondering if that was technically poison. I think people said the answer was no. So I'm thinking, unfortunately, that might be the case here as well. Much as we might like to be able to mitigate and actually heal the damage from that, don't know if we're going to be able to make that happen. So, here goes nothing, but these guys sound really, at least mechanically, difficult. As has been the case with many of the enemies we fought here in Blood and Wine, it feels like, not just level-wise, of course they've been high-level enemies, but just mechanically, they've been tough. Uh-oh. Tear the Jurden. Yup. We don't have Jurden up yet. There it is. There is the ranged attack. Can you come in our Jurden circle, please? Preferably. Yeah, we did get the chance to actually deal a decent amount of damage to you. Whoa, ho, ho. Hello. Oh, buddy was in the Jurden. Get him. Get him while you can. Okay, now he's away. Oh, and that did hit us. When? Jurden, we don't have it back yet. Uh-oh. That is hitting us. It's not dealing damage over time, which is nice. Coming in over to attack us? No. Are there two of them? There are two of them. Were there two of them before? I'm not sure there were. There are now. Fortunately, we did get the chance to take you. Whoa, that hurt. Finish one off, that'd be great. Oh. Get him. One down. Oh, they're both quite low, actually. Okay, we might have been, splitting our damage a lot, yes, but... I'd like to get the Jurden back. I would like to get the Jurden back right about now. You are not quite in the... You're gonna be in the Jurden. Oh, come on. Get him. While he's doing his wiggly dance. I think that's both of them.
Sorry. Need your eggs.
It is true. We kind of just stormed in here. Monster Carapace. I'm not sure if we've gotten that before. Actually, not getting the eggs directly from them, it doesn't seem. Unless we're going to get them from this one. No. Huh. I was expecting them to drop it directly. Although maybe we're just venturing further into their nest, which is, you know, Cannot save right now, really. Can we save now? Yes. Yeah, I think we're just delving further into their nest and getting ourselves in more trouble. This is where we came from? No, this is the angle we came from. Okay, hold on. Back this way. Then up there, it looks like. And I am seeing signs of other commotion. Are we fighting another one? I mean, that one was tough. Yeah, that is absolutely another one. If it just one at a time, it'd be, I think, a lot easier. But two at once was difficult. How many do we have? Maybe not the best of urine locations. Gotta get 2 urines out here if we can. Deal some damage to you if we're greedy, like that. Come on, in the urine you go. In the urine you go. Did not go in the urine. That's not what we asked you to do. Get Quinn back. Now you're popping up. In the urine. Fallen for my trap. Activated my trap card. Okay. Considerably easier when just one of them. And Monster Carapace, although this time looks different. Range actually dropping greater mutagens. Ah, look at this. Mutated giant centipede albumin? Not abdomen, albumin, okay? 3 mutated. Strange. Okay, place the mutated giant centipede albumin in the Professor Miro's contraption and start the machinery. Okay. Is there anything else over here, though? Because, I mean, we can go further. And yeah, this is breakable. Hold on just a second here, buddy. What do we have here? Just another way in? This might just be another way in. It's just a clever way to avoid having to run back. Pretty sure that's all it is. And it also hurts a little bit. But, gotta make an entrance, right? Okay. So now, where is it? It's here? Throw him in, I guess. We are now a mad scientist. Confirmed. What? Get undressed and activate. Oh. Oh. Okay. We actually, like, unequip. Sword as well? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Does that count?
Training as machinery goes, gear. And how do I start to drop my armor, leave my weapons?
Okay, that too then. Suppose we do still have them strapped to our backs, so that makes some sense. Crossbow as well? We even have... Oh, these are just generic bolts. Does that suffice? There we go.
Professor's mutagens might work on me as they did on his son. Now, time to find out.
Yeah, that's kind of an extremely dangerous thing to test out on yourself with no one to help you in case things go horrendously wrong. Kids, don't do anything like this at home. Don't experiment with mutating yourself. It's a bad idea. Even if you think it's going to make you faster, stronger. Mutations. You've unlocked the mutation system. Mutations let you gain new abilities, increasing your advantage over normal men and giving you an added edge in killing monsters. Learn more, open the character pool. Alright. So it appears to have worked. Let's see. Press Y to open mutations panel. Okay. Whoa! So, in The Witcher 1, there were what? Witcher 1 and 2 both had mutations built into your passive tree. I think in slightly different forms, although I don't remember it well. I think they were all permanent. Or at least Witcher 2, I think, was. Witcher 1 may not have been. To use mutations, first you must research them. To do this, choose one of the available mutations. Okay. Strengthen synapses. Improved by researching mutations, each stage unlocks an additional ability slot. Number of research mutations increases... Or number of research mutations necessary to unlock 2. Okay. For mutation research to finish successfully, you must devote the required number of ability points and mutagens to it. Ah, okay. So does that mean that instead of continuing to throw ability points on our normal skill tree, where, as I was saying previously, we're starting to run out of skills to use them on, we can instead invest a bit in this mutation area? Also choose advanced mutations. Develop advanced mutations, you must first develop other, more basic ones. Information about this can be found in the mutagen's description. Okay. Let's see. So first off, we've got, I imagine blue is generally sign-oriented, red is generally combat-oriented, and green is generally potion-oriented, alchemy-oriented. So that is the case on the passive tree, but this first one here, strengthen synapses. We need to do this first, right? I think. But otherwise, magical sensibilities. Signs can deal critical hits. Whoa! Their critical hit chance and damage increase with sign intensity. Currently, 40% chance to deal additional 197 damage. That's not bad. Opponents killed by critical hits from signs explode. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it does require additional ability points. Okay. We'll need to save up for that. Deadly counter. Sword attacks deal 25% more damage to human opponents immune to counterattacks and monsters. In all other cases, if attacker's vitality is less than 25%, counterattack immediately triggers a finisher. Okay, very, counterattack oriented. Either additional damage or finishing blows if the enemy is weak. Each time you are injured in melee combat, the attacking opponent receives damage in the amount of 1.5% damage dealt for every point of your toxicity level. Currently 1.5, maximum of 150%. So yeah, if you were a crazy super high toxicity build, then you could actually go full quote-unquote thorns strats and become a reflect build. There's also one potion that does a similar effect, right? Makes it so that they take damage when they deal damage to you. So double up on those things and suddenly you are deliberately trying to get hit. Yeah, I was kind of thinking something similar. It's looking like we could certainly use some spare ability points here. And we have some that we basically just threw away for the sake of getting, well, in some occasions in order to unlock the later rows on the skill trees, but other times we just threw them in there because we're like, we don't have anything better to do, so I guess we'll just throw some skill points over here. So yeah, I think it's definitely looking like it's going to be time very soon to reset those skill points, and now that we have a new and powerful place to put those skill points, that'll be worth investigating further. Let's see what some of the advanced ones here are. Piercing Cold, when the Ard sign is cast, and it additionally has 25% chance of freezing opponents. Opponents knocked down and frozen simultaneously die immediately. That sounds nifty. Opponents who are not frozen are dealt an additional 2,958 damage. That's a lot. I know in the past I was critical of the quote-unquote flat damage amounts, the ones that just say 25 damage, 100 damage, because it's like, okay, well, how does that damage scale long-term? The further along we get in the game, the weaker that's going to be relative to how strong our enemies are. You know, like 25 damage early on, sure, you might decimate enemies with that. But when enemies get stronger, that's going to do almost nothing to them. But 2,958 that's a pretty high amount. So, don't know how that scales long-term, but interesting nonetheless. When drawn, magic, unique, and Witcher swords increase sign damage dealt by 50% of their own damage dealt. That's also interesting. So, like, this is a way to be a bit of a combo sign slash combat build, where if you do have nice swords, then that does increase the effectiveness of your signs. And again, as you will be upgrading your swords over time and those get stronger, it will scale your sign intensity accordingly, or your sign damage accordingly, rather than this whole, like, you have a stagnant number that does not improve over time. Adrenaline rush at the start of combat, sword attack power and sign intensity increase for 30 seconds by 30% for each foe after the first. So when fighting 11 foes, the bonus is 300%. 300% attack power? Once it wears off, sword attack power and sign intensity drop by 10% for each participating foe after the first. But what? The second part, once it wears off, sword attack power and sign intensity drop by 10% for each participating foe after the first. So basically, what happens is, at the very beginning, you want to have a ton of enemies. You want to take them out extremely quickly, or at least within 30 seconds, because once that duration expires, then your power is going to go way down, depending on how many you have left. If you have only one left, then it's actually not going to be a big deal. Modifier cannot exceed 70%. The downward part can exceed 70%? So does that actually mean... Huh. Does that actually mean your damage is lower than base damage there? Because, like, so you have... Let's say you go up to 300%, like it said, for the 30-second period. Then let's just say you have... I guess you would need to have 2 enemies remaining, because it's 10% for each participating foe after the first. So after the 30 seconds, let's say you have 2 enemies. And so it goes down by 10%. Is that 300 minus 10? Or is that actually or like your base amount minus 10%? So you're actually negative 10. I think you're negative 10. Too tired to engage with this material. When vitality reaches 0, you become temporarily invulnerable and regenerate 100% vitality. This effect can only be triggered once every 3 minutes. That's pretty nifty. That's pretty nifty. We have a combat ability that is kind of similar to that, it uses our adrenaline points to make that happen. But, huh. I wonder how those things combine, or if this could potentially be something to replace that. Bloodbath, each fatal blow dealt by a sword dismembers the enemy or activates a finisher. Each blow dealt by a weapon in melee combat increases attack power 5% until combat ends to a maximum of 250%. The bonus is lost if you take damage. Ooh, not including damage from toxicity. So if you can skillfully take enemies out without taking damage, then you can scale a bunch of damage in the process. Now, does mean if we were very diligent with our Quens, and probably more aggressive with blocking, we could maybe make that happen. I tend not to do much blocking, but the upside is high. Upside is high. Just a matter of how feasible is it to actually pull that off. Crossbow damage, you lost me already, is now increased from 0 to 0. Values depend on crossbow used. Crossbow critical hit chance is increased by 50%. Crossbow bolts pierce and knock down or stun opponents. Opponents struck when they have full vitality lose... I mean, like I tell you right now, it's not going to happen. We're not going to do that one. Apply critical effects to opponents activates a random decoction for 120 seconds with no toxicity cost. Maximum number of decoctions that can be activated simultaneously by the mutation is 3. Winter senses help you see better in dark places. That's also kind of nice. I mean, I like the crit. Problem is we have to go through the crossbow one to get there, which kind of stinks. What about this? Each point of toxicity increases damage dealt by swords and sign intensity by a bit. I mean, we do, at least for difficult fights, pretty regularly put on at least one potion. It's not like we're going crazy with that stuff. Each adrenaline point decreases damage received by 15% up to maximum 45. It's also not bad. There is some good stuff here. I mean, as you might expect, given how this is sort of like your end game skill tree, if you will. Okay. So, oh, and what is this? Okay, so we can have up to 4 of those mutations, it seems, and that's the cap there. Which would mean, what, you get one of the basic ones, then middle one, couple middle ones, and then up to one of the big ones. Just up to you to decide which way you opt to go. And then probably similarly to what we have with our normal skill tree, if we wanted to, we could probably unlock some of these, but then we would need to, we could unlock all of them, theoretically, but we'd only have enough room to actively use 4 at a time. Interesting. And then, actually, you need to unlock all of them in order to get the 4th slot active. Interesting. Only one can actually be active at a time, but it's still good to get all of them? Okay. Yeah, definitely stuff we're going to want to experiment with. Does strengthened synapses actually do anything? It's still locked. It doesn't, like, give any hard numbers on it. Okay. So. Scientific experiment on ourselves. Successful, I believe. However, not currently able to use skill points to make it happen, because, well, we don't have any skill points. So, yeah, I think we're probably looking to reset that pretty soon. Because we definitely, I mean, over the course of the game, we found that there are certain skills that we just tend not to use very often. So away we go, I think. Oh, we end up in the water. Hold up. Some drowners over there, but are we roughly in the same place where we went in? We are. There was this entrance over here that apparently is completely unaffiliated with that quest. It's really close by, but like I was saying with that entrance there, I think there are actually 2 over here. Yeah, that's something that generally I'm reluctant to go into them, or at least I've found that tends to be the most frequent time when I've jumped the gun on quests, done things out of order, has been when we have hopped in those entrances and then suddenly it's like, oh, okay, well, this was actually the lair of one of the Witcher contract monsters, so well done, now you no longer can negotiate the price with people. So I think for that reason, probably refrain from going in there now, and let's throw some clothes back on real quick. There we go, and swords as well. Not these guys, it's Viper and Iris. Okay. There are some drowners over here, yes. That was certainly a big pickup, at least having that option to do that. Now the question of what next, because we could, I mean, continue on our way to, well, actually, I think I do have something in mind. I was thinking maybe it would make sense for us to do, where is it? No Place Like Home? Go to Corvo Bianco? Everyone who has even a passing acquaintance with Geralt of Rivia knows it was very rare for the Witcher to be paid before completing a contract. Retainers or down payments, however, were another story. Those would often be given to him by the best of employers, those who had no intention of backing out of their side of the bargain, and who wanted the job done and done well above all else. In this regard, Anna Henrietta stood out as one of the best employers Geralt had ever had. Why is that, you ask, dear reader? Why, because in exchange for agreeing to kill the Beast of Eau Claire, she gave Geralt the deed to Corvo Bianco Vineyard, and promised further payment in gold as soon as Geralt completed the job. Say what you will about her, but no one can deny Anna Henrietta's generosity is quite good. Quite significant. So we got our home back over here. There is this question mark that's close by. I think that might be worth just seeing what that's all about while we're so close. It's a monster nest. Of what variety? Oh! Now there's an enemy we haven't seen in The Witcher 3, but was all over The Witcher 1. Is that an archspore? Something along those lines? Now, speaking of poison, I have to imagine this guy's gonna absolutely annihilate us with some poison right now. So we're on Golden Oriole. There's one thing I learned from The Witcher 1, is don't mess with these guys. A lot of them as well. Yeah, it is an archspore. And yes, we did get hit by that. Although we did not take any damage, so I think that is pure poison in that case. Okay, one archspore down. Okay, those explode apparently. That's good to know. Hello? I'm guessing that's the nest. That purpley thing over there. Oh, they can pop up at any of those places, and when they drop down, they explode. Or those just generally explode. We're learning. Cool enemy. Technically speaking. Any other things that are going to explode now? No? Okay.
Spores will sprout again. Should destroy the area if I want to get rid of them for good.
Yep. Will do. Esco boom. Esco boom. Okay, Archspore tendrils, Archspore juice, Monster spore. Some things that are new to us. Monster heart. Tell me, how does that work out? On a plant. Ooh. Well, this guy may have also tried to take out the Archspores. Another found journal. Is there actually anything of significance in said journal? The Byzants jumped up again. Gods, Cian Folly won't have any pity on me. Why, oh why did I take out a loan in a foreign currency? Those heartless bankers will have my hide. What will I tell the wife? If things continue like this, we'll soon be copperless. Grandpapa mentioned something about elven ruins full of treasure, flooded by the river creatures centuries ago. Perhaps I really might find something there. Enough for the next payment, if nothing else. And it sounds like the elven ruins we saw in the water there, but there was the entrance that we didn't go through. Maybe that's sort of the invitation to check that out. But first... Oh. Do some more stuff here. We are very close to being encumbered, though. And this stuff is kind of junk. Didn't we have... Yeah, the Archspore over here as well. We recommend arriving home during the day. Okay. It is day now, however, oftentimes we find that when we fast travel, time changes. So, if we are to fast travel there, then it may no longer be day? It is a fairly long walk from here. It's basically through past the entire city and even further beyond the turning grounds. So, or we could deliberately fast travel to the turning grounds, see what time it is when we do that fast travel, and then from there, walk or ride Roach to Corvo Bianco? Yeah, it does have a stash here. Okay. As expected. Geralt's house! Okay. So yeah, I think we could investigate this town here. Does have a notice board, but I'm guessing that's a whole nother can of worms that maybe we should take one step at a time. Okay, we can still... It's still okay to meditate if we fast travel and it's nighttime? Okay. In that case, yeah, let's head back over to Lebioda's gate, and then we'll fast travel there. And we have seen this area once before. I mean, kind of, sort of. Not sure we're necessarily going exactly the same route. So we'll go on Roach, but we'll go kind of slowly in effort to not speed past anything too significant. That is
Slower.
maybe that little town area we were seeing, and we might want to go to fairly soon.
Come on.
Yeah, but Mirkwood again. Okay, that is, of course, where we were when we came over here. Did we see this little bridge?
Giddy up.
Not sure we did. Which, you know what that means. Have to check under it. Does not appear to be anything under it. It is a cardinal sin. Hold on. Hold on! Also, what does that sound? Nothing? It's like nothing. I mean, could we even just, like, walk along the shoreline here? Does that work? It kinda. Kinda does. In some ways, it would be a little bit, maybe not the fastest route, but it might not be that bad of an idea. Maybe we just stop by this spot real quick, see what the fishermen are up to. Got some dogs. Got a witcher robbing their belongings. Oh, it's like they knew. It's like they knew. How dare they? We loot this stuff? Nope. I mean, beautiful. But is there anything special for us to do here? Yeah, like that sound. That's just the birds? They're flying overhead? Possibly. Doesn't seem like there's too much along the shoreline here, at least not at the moment. That anything? Other fishermen down over there? I mean, go any further, I think we start going into the city proper, or at least the harbor for the city proper, kinda, sorta. Which is, yes, somewhere we'll definitely want to go eventually, but I think just trying to take this one step at a time here, trying to go to our home first, that way we can get access to our stash. And I mean, maybe we try selling some stuff to some people first, but might suffice just to stash some things and see what the whole deal is with Corvo Bianco. Hello? Is this the little estate we saw? Belgard Vineyard? I think it was, yeah. Pretty sure.
You could make yourself useful.
So colorful. Can't take the purple flowers? Darn. No purple for you, Geralt. I'm afraid. dramatic sun or solar glare. Okay, I did not intend to pick that up, but sure.